Hey everyone, Laura Cameron-Stedman here. Alright, let me just put my foot up here. I like sitting cross-legged a little bit, or like half cross-legged, even though I probably shouldn't. Not good for your back. Alright. I really wanted to talk to you today about alignment. Now, I'm going to tell you a bit of a story. It's hopefully not going to be a really long story, but it's a bit of a story. So, I've been trying to do this business for a long time, and it's changed. I've done like fitness, I've done like some other stuff, and so I shouldn't clap that loud. My microphone's down here. Ooh, maybe I should put it up a bit. Probably a good idea, closer to my mouth. It's my lav mic. My husband bought it for me for Christmas, which is cool. He's lovely. So I wanted to talk about being in alignment and how important that is, and how I didn't know how important it was until very recently. And now I'm like, oh my God, I could have saved myself a lot of time and a lot of stress if I would have just listened to this thing. Really. Okay. Here's the story. So I've been following the law of attraction for 100 million years, and I'll tell you a little bit of a background about me. I'm Canadian. I just got my Australian citizenship a year ago, a bit. So I have dual citizenship. But when I lived in Canada, where I was born and raised, I was in a very small kind of rural town in Alberta, and the thing that I've changed the most since I've left there has been my mindset about lack and abundance. And sometimes I kind of look at it and go, I'm not sure that I've actually changed that much, but then I look back and see where I came from and I'm like, oh my God. And this has all kind of happened through just changing mindset stuff and believing what I could do. And a big one was going to acting school and just becoming different people and living their life as a character. That helped me a lot, which is why I use it a lot in my work now. But what I wanted to talk to you about is being in alignment. Now, if you are a content creator, this is really, really important. Or if you've got your online business, you're getting out there, you're putting a message out there, and especially if you find it really difficult when you sit in front of the computer. This is what I did. And all the businesses that I had, I sat in front of my computer, and this is my computer. I'm sitting, well, it's a new one, but newish one. But I'd sit in front of my computer. This is the film version of what happened. I'm a recreation. I'd be like, beep, beep, recreation. So I'll be like, oh. And I'll be like, I would sit there and I would type and I would write, or I'd make a video and I'd be like trying to think of all these different ways that I could do it easier, because it just I don't know if you have this problem, but you start writing stuff, you write blog posts, and it took me forever to write blog posts. And the reason that it took me so long is I hated all of them because they just didn't sound like me. They sounded like a watered down version. They sounded like trying to not impress people, but trying to focus in on a specific people. But not even that. It was like the message that came out, even though this isn't what I believe, was that everything is externally, everything is somebody else's fault, really. I didn't say that, but it just, the way that I was saying what I was saying made it sound like that. It made it sound like what you hear so many people saying, where it's like everybody's perfect and everyone, other people should change their behavior, which I don't believe. I mean, people shouldn't be jerks, right? I get it, but I don't believe that that's the reason why you feel bad. I don't believe that the reaction that you have internally is is based on what somebody says to you or does to you or looks at you a certain way. Because, and here's why, two people could have the exact same stimulus and react in two different ways. And the only difference is them. So it has to do with, it does have to do with your upbringing. It has to do with, what you believe and who you are and what all those sorts of things. But if it can be different from person to person, the reaction that you can get, if the stimulus is the same, that means it's internal. And it's, even if somebody is a jerk, you still, you can decide to take that on board or not. You can decide to be like, what the hell are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. Or you can decide to be like, oh my God, that person hurt me. And it's your choice. We can decide that. There was a long time when I didn't think that I could. Where I had a really, tough time of it. But after studying this, I realized it's totally doable. It's totally possible. And it's totally possible to change your mindset, do the work. And I've gone totally off topic. I go on tangents. I'm the Tangent Queen. I'm going to change my name to tangentqueen.com. I should check that. I'm going to see if that's available. tangentqueen.com. Okay. And so what I was talking about though was alignment. Now, so here is what I figured out. All this time, when I'd be sitting in front of my computer from like 9 o'clock in the morning to like 10 o'clock at night, just like trying desperately to get something out that actually sounded like me, trying to like squeeze it. It was like, felt like you're just squeezing it out. Like you're just like, it's so much effort to try and get something out that you're actually happy with. That you're actually going, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That is exactly what I mean. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. And that's me. What was coming out on the page was just the crap that I heard everybody else say. It was so, because I listened to so many people, and this message is, you hear this message everywhere that, I'm not saying the you are enough message isn't great. It is great. I totally think self-love is the reason why so many of us are having so much trouble, because we don't love ourselves. We don't accept ourselves. But so we expect everyone else to do that job for us. And that is why we have so much trouble. And so, I mean, that's part of what I teach. It's like, once you learn to accept yourself, once you learn that even if you're loud, or if you're funny, or if you're, whatever, it's you, it's great. And that's what you need to do. You need to be you. You need to do you. That's it. And if you're not doing you, guess what? You're being really freaking boring. You're saying what everybody else is saying because you're not allowing that stuff to come through. And you're like just regurgitating what a bazillion other people have said already in the same way. And it's safe. It's very safe. And safe is not going to get you anywhere if you're trying to build a business online. That's it. Safe's not going to do anything. And that's where I've been. I've been safe. That's how I know. That's how I know. That's how I know. Because I've been so safe that I haven't even been pushing the publish button. I haven't even been clicking it and sending those things out into the world. Because, and it wasn't even being safe. It was like, I was being safe. I was being so safe when I was creating things that when I looked at it, when I was finished, I was like, that makes me want to puke. It's so wishy-washy and so just molded into this, like, everybody will like it sort of. It's a nice sentiment. It's like a social media post saying love everybody and be nice to everybody. great. That's great. But if you're looking for change, if you're trying to change yourself, you're trying to change your life, if you want your life to get better, if you want more success, if you want to have a better body, be nice to everybody. It's not the message that's going to help you to do that. You should be nice to people. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying be a douche. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you want, how can I change, you know, how I think? How can I change? If you're going to stay the same, if it's like you're great just the way you are, but you actually don't change, you're not going to change if you stay the way you are. Makes sense? Oh, going off on a woohoo. I think it's time for another little sip of Pernod. My husband made me a nice drink. We went on a river cruise, a river barge. My shoulders are right tense. Let's stop that. We went on a river barge cruise in France, and they were serving a lovely pastis on board. I'd never had it before, and I tried it, and I quite like it. I'm quite a fan of that like black licorice flavor, which Pernod is as well. You just add a bit of water and ice, and it's ready to go. Lovely. I don't know if you're from Canada, you may know of these. They're called Sensens. They're in a little packet. I've not seen them for 30 years. Anyway, but that's what this tastes like. Right, alignment. So this is what I figured out. 3-4 years sitting in front of my computer, being disappointed, being like frustrated, because I would sit there for hours and hours and hours, and then by the end of those hours I still would not have anything remotely that I could be remotely proud of at all. It would be just some drivel that sounded like it came out of somebody else's mouth, that it came out of 1,000 other people's mouths. And of course it's going to be fear related, right? It's going to be fear related because the things that I have to say sometimes, you know, get people's backs up, because I don't think that you know, the only way that you can feel better about yourself is by having that, you know, other people should change to make you feel better. I don't believe that. I believe you need to change in order to make you feel better. So sometimes that gets people's backs up. But you know what I'm talking about. Because if you're here, you're the kind of person who is on the road to, you know, you're on the self-development road already. So you know that everything is internal. You know that in order to make changes in your life, you have to change yourself. So I don't feel that bad, telling you about this stuff. But okay, off I go on off topic again. Okay, here is what I learned. Being in alignment. What does that mean? That, you know, when you are, if you're a coach, or if you're any of those kind of like service-based kind of entrepreneurs. Yes, I know I've got a guitar stuck through. There's my guitar there, but it's showing the light. You can see the lights flashing, it's shining on my thing. So I'm trying to not do that. But I also don't want a guitar shoved up the top of my head. That's my guitar that I'm learning how to play. Not very consistently though. So I got to change that. But anyway, here's what I learned. If you follow the law of attraction, you will have heard Abraham, Esther Hicks say this all the time. And you don't really, if you're anything like me, you're like, yeah, whatever. You don't really listen to it, even though she says it 500 bazillion times. She says, get into alignment and then get into alignment and then get into alignment and then. So for us that are coaches and things like that, it's really high vibe. So you know when you're in it, you're like you can feel it. You're like high energy. I find that I get it when sometimes when I work with clients and I'm really, you know, passionate about what they're doing, and I know that I'm helping them, and I know that it's just flowing. I know that. And I also get that way when I'm just, talking about this stuff with somebody else. I can get really passionate and really like start getting a bit louder and start getting like my energy starts going up. That is where you want to be when you are creating. Like, you want to at least be in a place where you really are connected with your message, where you're really connected with what you believe, when you're really connected with what's, if you believe, things come through you, where you're connected with that. So you're feeling that stuff. That is where you want to create from. Now, if you're creating from a space of, I need to get some stuff done, I need to get some content out, I need to get things done, that's when it stops. And it's so this is what happened to me. I would sit there for hours and hours and hours and hours getting crappy work done, like hours, like 10, 12 hours in a day. And I would be sitting in front of my computer. I would have a break for to go pee and maybe have lunch. And then I would be back at it, and I would be frustrated and struggling, and I would not be getting anything done that was worth anything, that I would never send out into the world at all. And what I found out was get in alignment and then. So you need to give yourself time to get into alignment. You need to give yourself time before you start writing things, before you start creating content, to get into that high vibe place. Now, whatever it takes for you to get there, that's what you need to do. So whether that's dancing around, I don't find that helpful. I find journaling, I find thinking about the conversations that I have with my clients that create that high vibe energy for me, and the things that I'm excited about them achieving and me helping them achieve those things, that gets me a little bit further into a sort of a high vibe place, and which is really cool. You want to be in that place when you write content, and it completely changes what you do. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I wrote a page on my website I had this conversation. I, was really excited about it. I came back to my house. At 3:00, I sat down on my computer, wrote this page. By 4:00, 3:45, I was cooking dinner, and it was done. Like, the whole page was done. The whole website page was done. Normally it takes me about 100 years. I'm not even kidding. Okay, I'm exaggerating slightly, but each page that I do on my website probably takes me a couple of weeks, just because I can't get the copy right, and I can't get it to the message right, and I can't get it just looks like everybody else's, or it feels like everybody else's, and it just doesn't feel like me, and it feels fake and shitty. And so I was able to do in 45 minutes what it normally would have taken me at least a few days, at least minimum a few days, to write stuff for it. And this is also when it comes to things like videos, and it comes podcasts and all those sorts of things. When you're doing those things, if you watch the video afterwards and you're like, oh my God, it's just not me, it's just not what I want to put out there, then you're probably not in alignment when you're actually doing that content. The message isn't coming from you. The message is coming from what you've heard other people say. And you need it to be coming from you. You need it to be coming from, that's what you believe in, source, or whatever it is that you believe in. It needs to be coming from inside you, not collected from other sources that you've heard before. And it definitely can't be coming from this place where, and a lot of people in online marketing say this, but I don't particularly believe this, but that you need to base all of this stuff. You need to base your website. You need to base what you're saying. You need to base what you stand for and what your brand is about and all of that kind of stuff on your ideal client. Now, I mean, there is definitely a place for doing market research, but, and this is what I was talking to my friend about, I help her with her stuff as well. I was telling her, she was getting advice from somebody who was telling her that because she wants to work with people with business owners, that she needs her website to be really slick and businesslike, and that it needs to be short, very concise messaging. It needs to be to the point. It needs to be like quick. It needs to be, but very like professional and slick. But she does a lot of, she's a life coach, and she does a lot of things with like art and with like her, like she has a very playful way that she works with people. And so I said to her, you need your website, you need your videos, you need your things that you're putting out there to reflect to reflect you, because if you don't do that, and say you are very playful and you work with people in that way, but your website's really like business slick, and somebody starts to work with you, then you're not gonna, it's gonna be a shocker when they start working with you, because they're gonna expect slick business suit, heels, and a tight hair bun, kind of whatever they expect, but like point form, left brain kind of things. And she is going to give them right brain, kind of creative, free flowing, figure it out through creation kind of things. And so they're going to be like, what the hell is this? And they're not going to want to work with her. She needs to let people know what it's going to be like to work with her, who she is on her website and things like that. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, though. It's like this, if you're creating something to appease your ideal client, but you don't even really know who that is. I mean, saying somebody in business, that could be anybody, but if you want somebody that's going to be the kind of client you want to work with, you're going to want somebody who appreciates you for you. You're going to want to do all your writing stuff. You're going to want to do all your creating stuff, all your website creation stuff, when you're in alignment. And when you're in alignment and you're doing all those things, when you're actually, creating, when you feel like that, you don't feel weird about it. Like, you don't feel like, oh, I need to change this. I need to mold this into so my ideal client will be attracted to it. You just don't even think about that. You just do it and you're like, this is amazing. And the thing is that when you do that, and the person who would be attracted to that sees it, then they're attracted to it, and that's cool. Like, you don't have to go out looking for people. They'll find you. So you just need to stop worrying about it and get your message out there. In alignment. When you're in alignment, that's great. Especially when you're creating stuff. Be in alignment. And however it takes to get you there, just do it. All right, that was a pretty long video so far, so I think I'll stop now. But I am super glad that you stopped by to watch it. You can find me on my website at www.lauracameron-stedman.com.